Hello, you're watching QPVN News. I'm Anh Tuấn and here's the headlines. How military ensures party and political work in remaining months of 2024. Heroic military of heroic Vietnam. Spreading love of hooray culture to young generation. During his official visit to Qatar on November the 1st, Prime Minister Phạm Minh Chính visited the Qatar energy-invested Ras Laffan industrial city, 80 kilometers to the northeast of Doha. The industrial complex houses major oil refineries and gas processing facilities in Qatar, with its enclosed artificial bay spanning 4,500 hectares of water surface. Ras Laffan serves as Qatar's primary liquefied gas production hub and the world's largest LNG export facility. Prime Minister Phạm Minh Chính praised Qatar's innovative thinking, strategic vision and expertise in developing the artificial bay and the specialized industrial complex. As Vietnam, which boasts a 3,000-kilometer coastline, is developing major seaports and sea encroachment areas, Prime Minister Chính proposed Qatar and Qatar Energy, in particular, cooperate with, invest in, and help the country with financial assistance, technology transfer, human resource training, and management expertise in developing similar industrial parks and sea encroachment areas. This was the last activity of the government's leader during his tour to the Middle East. Prime Minister Phạm Minh Chính, his spouse, and the high-level delegation of Vietnam left Doha to return home at noon on the same day. On November the 1st, Senior Lieutenant General Trịnh Văn Quyết, Chairman of the General Political Department of the Vietnam People's Army, presided over a meeting to review the results of the implementation of party and political work in October and deploy key missions for November. In October, the Home Military closely and synchronously deployed party and political work, focusing on activities to celebrate the 80th anniversary of the Vietnam People's Army's founding day, 35th anniversary of Ho People's Defense Festive Day, and the 80th anniversary of the General Political Department's founding day. General Quyết requested relevant agencies and units to closely review the key programs and activities, especially the workshop on the 80th founding anniversary of the General Political Department, while continuing to promote and spread the beautiful image of Uncle Ho soldiers. At the same time, it is needed to prepare for the year-end review conference of party and political work in 2024 and launch tasks for 2025. A conference reviewing the organization of the second Vietnam-Laos Border Defense Friendship Exchange was held on November the 1st. Senior Lieutenant General Hoàng Xuân Chiến, Deputy Minister of National Defense, presided over the event. In Vietnam, information about the second Vietnam-Laos Border Defense Friendship Exchange has been widely popularized in the media before, during and after the event. 90 reporters from 43 press agencies in and outside the military joined the event for the news coverage. They carried 1,215 pieces of news published in the media. In Laos, the Lao National Television and other official Lao newspapers all reported the event. General Chiến praised the agencies and units for their great efforts and coordination in such a short time, making the event a success. He appreciated the event's positive influence on the mass, especially border residents, where the event took place. On November the 1st in Shanghai, China, the Saigon Newport Corporation, in coordination with the Shanghai International Port Group and Vietnam Business Association in China, organized a seminar on optimizing the supply chain and enhancing trade between Vietnam and China. The delegates affirmed the importance of optimizing the supply chain and enhancing trade to the cooperation and sustainable trade connectivity between Vietnam and China. Measures discussed at the event ranging from the expansion of infrastructure, application of technology to the promotion of green solutions, all aim at realizing a common goal of building an efficient and optimized supply chain that is adaptable to fluctuations in the global economy. As a leading port operator, the logistics service provider in Vietnam over the past years, the Saigon New Port Corporation and its Chinese major partners have been cooperating effectively. The event is an opportunity for the Saigon New Port Corporation in seeking long-term cooperation with Chinese partners in the economic sector, while together promoting green solutions and mitigating impacts on the environment towards sustainable development. The Vietnam People's Army, an army from the people, for the people, wholly devoted to the party, the fatherland and the people. This mission and ideal have become a deeply ingrained belief, a way of life for each revolutionary soldier. Throughout 80 years, in every revolutionary stage since its founding, the Vietnam People's Army has upheld this spirit, creating enduring noble images in the hearts of the Vietnamese people and friends worldwide. Julie and Elliot, two young travelers from France, included a visit to the Điện Biên Phủ Victory Museum in their journey to Vietnam. For them, it was an essential stop to connect with the history and people of Vietnam. Until now, we only read about the Điện Biên Phủ campaign in books and articles. Visiting here has given me a much deeper understanding of that campaign and the indomitable spirit of Vietnam soldier and people in their fights for independence. Around the world, media outlets like ABC Mondial in Argentina, Le Monde in France, Passason in Pathes in Laos, and Uruguay's El Popular have honored Vietnam's resolute spirit and resilience. A piece in the Spanish-language paper No Tao Pai commended the Điện Biên Phủ victory as a sign of the Vietnam People's Army's remarkable growth, praising Vietnam soldiers for their commitment to fighting and sacrificing for national independence, freedom and socialism.
Ở Việt Nam có một cái câu rất là hay.
There's a saying I've heard many times: when the enemy is at the doorstep, even the women will rise to fight. This unity in Vietnam's struggle made victory possible. I still vividly recall the story of Do Vĩnh Diệt, who used his own body to stop a cannon from falling during a mountain ascent, a heroism you rarely see elsewhere. The victory of Vietnam's military and its people had a ripple effect, inspiring anti-imperialist and anti-colonial movements across the global south in their fights for independence and justice. Through war is a distant memory. The Vietnam People's Army hasn't rested. It still works for peace, stability and national growth, to bring happiness and prosperity to its people, and to make Vietnam a peaceful, stable and welcoming nation, opening to friends from around the world. I believe we all yearn from a world without the sound of bombs and gunfire, where every child smiles and all people live together in happiness and peace. For Vietnam, our efforts to build and enhance defense capabilities serve this purpose alone, to protect our homeland, safeguard peace, and ensure a prosperous, happy life for our people. Prior to the 32nd ASEAN Army's Rifle Meet, or AARM-32 in short, the shooters of the Vietnam People's Army and the Royal Cambodian Armed Forces have been actively training together and exchanging experience at the National Military Training Center No. 4 over the past days, with various close-to-reality contents, making them ready to achieve the best result at the approaching competition held in the Philippines this November.
At the National Military Training Center No. 4, time seems to stand still amidst the concentration of its shooter. And after each round of shooting, they gain more experience to better their postures and shooting skills. The Vietnamese instructors are so enthusiastic. We are allowed to practice in the best conditions with very skillful shooters. This year's AR includes 5 competing events: a rifle, carbine, men's pistol, women's pistol, and a machine gun. To best prepare shooters for the competition, the training ground has been set up similar to the real competing ground and even has the presence of fans. The trainers who are instructors from the Army Officers School No. 1 are sent to help train the shooters. They support the Cambodian shooter enthusiastically and responsibly, and the Cambodian team training process was better than the previous year, while duly meeting their training requirements. The mastery of military shooting contents is improved through each session, demonstrating the quality of training of shooters from both countries. We work and train closely with the Vietnamese instructors. They are really helpful and we have progressed a lot. A new adjustment in this year's competition is that there are more collective shooting contents. This requires the cohesion of the participants. The 32nd ASEAN Army's Rifle Meet, slated for this November in the Philippines, is an opportunity for the ASEAN militaries to exchange and integrate, contributing to building their cohesion, mutual understanding, and trust.
Coming up next, Vietnamese airlines race to launch international routes. Spreading love of Hare culture to young generation. In response to rising travel demand as the year progresses toward the final month, Vietnamese airlines, including Vietnam Airlines, VietJet Air, and Bamboo Airways, are set to broaden their international flight networks. VietJet Air introduced a new route connecting Daegu City in South Korea to Cam Ranh. Vietnam Airlines on October the 27th opened a direct route connecting Hanoi with Phnom Penh in Cambodia. Meanwhile, Bamboo Airways has announced its plan to reopen an air route connecting Ho Chi Minh City and Bangkok from November the 26th, 1 year after the suspension of the route for restructuring. In the third quarter of this year, Southern Airport Service Joint Stock Company recorded revenue of $30 million and gross profit of $19.6 million, the company's record numbers in a single quarter. To preserve and promote the traditional cultural values of the Hare ethnic people in Quảng Ngãi province, recently local authorities and individuals have actively taught the young generation how to play gongs, sing and dance ta leo and ca choi folk songs.
On weekends, the small house of 57-year-old man Ha Viet Si in Thanh An Commune, Minh Long District, is often filled with sounds of gongs. When the gongs resound, the villagers flock to Si's house to watch, listen, and learn. Thanks to that, he has contributed to spreading the love for musical instruments to local community. I'm very happy when seeing children love the gong and the traditional culture of Hare ethnic group. I'm always ready to teach them by knowledge about that. Thanks to Si's enthusiastic teaching, many young people in Thanh An Commune know how to play gongs. The locality has also established a gong team that regularly performs in cultural and artistic festivals organized by the district and province. Since I was a little boy, I've heard gong songs played by my father and grandfather. I really love it. In Ba Tơ district, to realize the project on preserving and promoting the fine traditional cultural values of ethnic minorities associated with tourism development under the National Target Program on Social-Economic Development of Ethnic Minority and Mountainous Areas, the Ba Tơ Department of Culture and Information has opened classes to teach gong and traditional ta leo and ca choi folk songs. Ba Tơ district focuses on teaching ta leo, ca choi folk songs and gong to the young generation at schools and tourist spots to associate the preservation and cultural heritage with local tourism development in the coming years. With the joint efforts of authorities at all levels and dedicated people, the traditional cultural values of the Hare ethnic group are being preserved and promoted, contributing to enriching the traditional culture of ethnic minorities in Quảng Ngãi province.
This is the end of the QPVN News today. Remember to watch our news again at qpvn.vn. Thank you for watching and goodbye for now.